Honey ho, guys and gals, welcome back. And as some of you may know, the missus and I were at Con Expo last week. Con Expo is the biggest convention in Vegas. It is all construction equipment, big machines, big toys, all sorts of fabulous stuff. Had a blast, but actually ended up running into a company that I didn't expect would be there, but I probably should have, and that is Carhart. Now, hold your horses. I know how you feel, or at least a lot of you, and I felt the same way. We talked about it at the time. So let me tell you about this new news that Carhart has, which is pretty big. And then I'm going to tell you about a conversation I had with some Carhart employees while I was there. I'm not going to try and change your mind. I'm going to give you the information that I have, and you make up your own mind about stuff, okay? So let's hold off till then. But let's take a look at what they've got here, because this is a big deal. All right, this is Carhart Reworked. Now, I'm going to put a link to this down below for those of you interested. And what they're doing is they're having three new things. They have you can shop this reworked stuff. You could trade in your existing Carhart, and there's going to be a magical third option we're going to talk about here in just a second. So if you're looking to buy some Carhart on the cheap, my gosh, there's not a much better way to do it. I love Carhart, but it can get kind of pricey. But what this is they're taking Carharts, and any other company, any other clothing company tried this, you'd be like, there's not going to be any life left in it. But with Carhart, there certainly is. And so what they are doing is they're taking trade-ins on worn out equipment, worn-ish kind of equipment. How about that? They're fixing it up and they're reselling it. And this is going to be quite a savings. Let's look at this. Men's outerwear, jackets. Here's your basic full swing, loose fit, quick duck insulated, level 3 warmest there. Coming in at $175, but reworked, it's between $90 and $122. That is a huge savings. All right. How about this one? Normally, wait, there's another one down here. It's like $210 or something. There we go. Look at this. The Carhart Yukon. 4th level extreme, warmest settings there, coming in at normally $210, between $120 and $147. The Super Ducks, I like the Super Ducks there. Relax fit Detroit jacket there, coming in normally $150, coming in as low as $82. The prices on these, and that's not just jackets. We got bibs. I got a pair of bibs just like this, and I think I paid. I'll tell you, I got it through a different way, and I'll tell you how that. There's another way to save with Carhart. I've talked about them before. Anyway, 120 new. Looking at 62 to 84 on that. That's ridiculous. All right, what else we got? We got the men's shirt jackets. I love these. Great for spring wear, right? Something like this coming in normally $90, coming in at $56. This one's normally $70, coming in as low as $44. We got hoodies and sweatshirts. I was stunned to see that. Here's a great Carhart sweatshirt. $55, as low as $31 on the refurbished, reworked, as they say. And work pants. You want some Carhart work pants. These things fit great. They look great. Coming at $45, as low as $24. You can't buy a pair of Levi's for that. You can't buy off-brand, the tough knee kind of things from J.C. Penney's. You're not getting those for $24. So here's the deal. You take your Carhart, you round up all your Carhart gear that's got that's been bothering you because there's some buttons missing, the zipper's broken, it's got some holes and whatnot. You take it down to a Carhart store. Now here's the caveat: it has to be an actual Carhart store. You can't do it online, and you can't do it at a Carhart retailer. It has to say Carhart on the front doors. That does make it a little bit harder to use. Now, I did hear some whisperings that they said they think it's going to be online soon-ish, but not just yet. And they're not ready to say when that's going to happen. Anyway, you take your gear, take it to the store. They give you a gift card there and then you can use on new or reworked gear for yourself. How awesome is that? Now, here's the thing. What will they take? They'll take jackets, coats, bibs, overalls, shirt jackets, hoodies, sweatshirts, pants, and jeans. Makes sense. What they won't take, anything non-Carhartt. Duh. Anything deemed unrepairable. Like I had a jacket and I was like, oh, I had this jacket that ripped the front pocket out of and it just exposed the whole front. And they're like, yeah, that probably would not have been repairable. And I'm like, okay, I could see that because that was a pretty devastating, damage to that thing. And I did end up throwing it away. So I get that. Any garment sale not produced within 10 years. That's kind of a bummer because you get granddad's old Carhartt, their bibs or jacket or something like that, and you want to repair them. And it's maybe something you can do yourself, but they're not going to do it for you. or accessories, flame resistant gear, high vis gear, t-shirts, work shirts, and not heavy duty enough. Kids clothing, you know why. Boots, because not even Carhart wants their boots back. Sorry, Carhart, someone had to say it. Pet gear, base layer, and scrubs. Now, here's the third level thing, though. As I kind of hinted to it, they will fix some of your gear. Need a replacement zipper, new buttons, snaps, small holes, stuff, patching, stuff like that. You call them up, you contact, you got to reach out to them. They'll talk to you. It's your mileage may vary thing because not every damaged jacket's going to be the same. And of course, they'll do on jackets, pants, whatnot. Everything listed here, and maybe some of the other stuff they actually do a repair on. But that said, this could give your Carhartt gear new life. And you talk about this, and even if you don't do that, the savings on these prices, man, those are insane. Now, typically, though, I will tell you, my family, we mostly buy our stuff through a company called Super Casuals. This is a company I think they're in upstate New York. It's a family-run company. I have no affiliation with Super Casuals or Carhartt. Neither company's ever sent me anything that I didn't pay for. I'm not getting any affiliate kickback, nothing. Family and I, we just love this company so much. We talk about them because they have some great deals, and they're one of the few places that are Carhartt authorized factory seconds. So if there's like a stitch wrong, we've never been able to tell what's wrong with the stuff we've gotten from them. And the prices on it are fantastic. So that's another one to check out. I'll put a link to the Carhart Reworked and to Super Casuals down below. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room that we talked about before, why so many people are ticked off with Carhartt. And I get it. We all understand what happened and the choices corporate made. And I'll tell you, if you guys know me, and if you see me at some of these expos, I don't pull any punches when I talk to these companies. All right. People always think, they always talk about influencers and content creators like, oh, you're just kissing their backside because you want free, blah, blah, blah. No, there's so many companies out there. I don't have to. I could just, it reminds me of that. If you ever saw what was the movie? Distinguished Gentleman, and he just gets elected to Congress, and he's like, well, if you want to work with these people, they'll give you money. If you want to work with these people, they'll give you money. The fact of the matter is there's always a company out there that wants to work with content creators. So I get to pick the ones that I like, and I can just say the things that I really mean about it. And if they don't like it, there's another company in line behind them wanting to do business with us. It sounds smug, and it sounds like, I got a huge ego, and I try not to. I try to be humble and be thankful for what we got. But the fact of the matter is, I don't have to kowtow to anybody because there's always somebody else to step in and replace them. So that said, when I say stuff about a company, I really mean it. And I said to these guys, I said, look, my viewers and myself want to know, what's your answer to why'd you do it? Why should we give Carhartt a second chance after you force that on your employees? Because honestly, that seemed a pretty kind of authoritarian kind of move. And the person looked me dead in the eyes and said, I didn't get it. And I was like, and I was stunned. I'm like, you didn't? She's like, that? Nope, didn't happen. Wouldn't do it. I'd sooner quit. And I was like, wow. Now, I'm not one to name names or put anybody out, in the spotlight or anything, but I wasn't the only person I talked to. I talked to a few more people, and I'd say about half of them said that they didn't do it. And yet they still have their jobs. Now, how was that possible? Well, it turns out the company made it ridiculously easy, barely an inconvenience, to get an exception. You can get an exemption for medical or for religious. You just had to sign a piece of paper. And that threw me for a loop when I heard that. And then it was also explained to me, I should have figured it out. Where's Carhartt based? They're based in Michigan. You can make an assumption as to, based off of the politics of Michigan at these times and who was the governor during all this and what kind of pressure she was laying down. And I'm not trying to pick sides, but we know what happened there. And and it was one of the most authoritarian, actions of any governor of any state. And you have this major company, and also on one side they have to play ball, and on the other side, it looks like they made accommodations. And I got to tell you, all the employees I talked to, they had no ill will. And, the way I look at it is, I'm not going to be indignant for you. Okay? If you're telling me you're being unjustly, treated, and you want me to speak out to help amplify your voice, that's one thing. I'm not going to be one of those Karens that sits there and says, well, they're being persecuted and they're over there going, I am? Me? Really? So that's my take on it. I'm not going to sit here and try and say that you're wrong. I'm not going to argue with anybody on it. Basically, Carhart made their decision. You make your decision. I'm going to make my decision, and we're all going to move on from there. But anyway, if you do decide that you wanted to do some business with Carhart, take advantage of a program like this, I'll put a link down below to it. I'll put a link down below to Super Casuals. They're a great company. I love dealing with them. Anyway, yeah, it was interesting to hear the backstory on that whole decision and what happened there, and the way the company actually handled it for somebody who was actually there, and B, I just astounded to see a company stepping up and doing something like this and giving the option of getting cheaper clothes or cheaper product of any kind, and also repairing the product that I have. That's fabulous. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.